What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Gamer Small Talk. BGST, your Sunday night favorite podcast, is back again, and we are ready to kick some ass and take some names. There is no more sound effects in Google Hangout, sadly, so you don't get to hear the cheesy cheering or anything like that. But I've got some people here tonight that I guess could use an introduction. First, we got a guest joining us. He's been here before. He was kind enough to join us on short notice tonight. Welcome, GKB, the governor. What's up, bro?
What's going on, crap? Always good to jump on BGST and join you guys and talk about some awesome topics. I saw the list; it's crazy, so I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, we got the list. Let's see if we can get to the list this week.
We got a crazy. It's a crazy ass list. Did you see how big the list is? I was just like, hey, we'll probably hit some of that stuff, but you know, as much as we can. And we got El Mega is supposed to join us here in a little bit. He's El Mega. He's running a little bit late, probably because his basketball team sucks. And his sucks, but yeah. But we do got Xbot. What's up, bro?
What's going on, crap? Yo, primetime Sunday BGST. Everybody's gonna be here. Guys, I can't wait to get into the topics. That Super NES, man, that mini, I really want to talk about that. Yeah.
And you must be using Mel's mic, huh?
Actually, no. You really want to know? I'm using the mic that comes with the Xbox One. Yeah. This is what it's gone down to. The Turtle Beaches that I bought, for some reason, the mic was it was defective, and I actually had I have
to, that shit by your asshole. What the fuck?
I have to put it back. Yeah. So yeah, my mic problems continue, but I guess the Xbox One they sound pretty good, right?
Yeah, it sounds good. That's why I was like, hey, which ones are you using? Because they actually did sound pretty damn good. Impressed. And we got Next Gen, who his throat's a little sore.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, from all that Beam streaming, you're like a Beam superstar, man. You're like, damn, aren't you doing a new podcast on Beam now as well?
I'm washing dishes on Beam. You know,
I heard you were doing a cooking show.
Yeah, selling appliances. I'm like Crazy Eddie up there. You never know what you're gonna see.
Selling appliances.
Yeah. Crazy Eddie, man.
And you're doing the cooking. You're doing the cooking show with John Doe, right? Like,
this is your boy John.
We've got lots of stuff to talk about. One thing that I wanted to talk about right away was Microsoft's fuck up with the whole FanFest thing. I believe they were supposed to have 400 or 600 tickets available, and it turns out they invited like 2,000, something like.
Let me ask you a question. Crap, and I'm gonna shut down up. It's every year. Well, I'm saying it was messed up last year. I remember because Tim usually goes every year. It was a problem with it last year.
So far, it's been messed up.
What they're outside though, right? I think it was they're outside in the public or something, right? Is it indoors?
This one is, I guess it was for like some kind of, they were doing something. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing, but it was going to also cover getting into the whole, the E3 thing, right? Yeah. Like the whole idea is to get invited to this exclusive, like Scorpio, play some Scorpio shit and see the Microsoft E3 conference, right? And it was supposed to be much more streamlined this year because we know from people that have been there that they really messed it up last year. Like they had too big of a turnout, and some people who were waiting in line like a whole day or whatever got passed over by people that just showed up out of the blue because they were able to do like some kind of weird like lottery system when they got there. So it really kind of screwed people over. But what happened this time is they announced it real early in the morning. Oh, get up and we're going to do this and try out. And send in your things, and you might get a ticket. And all these people are like, "Yeah, I got in. Let me get my plane ticket and reserve my hotel because that's shit that you got to do. We're coming up with 2 months. You know what I mean? You got to reserve this shit now." And so people did that, and then they found out that, hey, guess what? Our bad. You're actually not going. We're gonna do it another day.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Nintendo style what's called treehouse event.
But
like
no worries.
I was just gonna ask GKB real quick because I know you guys tried to get there because you were thinking about actually going out there, right?
Yeah, like they were doing the E3 registration thing, and I thought like, oh man, this is like the perfect thing for Microsoft. This is something they can do like stellar, not have any issues. I guess I was totally wrong on that one. So yeah, we tried it, and we were trying to get it because we were going to go to E3 and do a bunch of live stuff there and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a big miss again from Microsoft. I don't understand what's going on, man. Like this is a software like web-based kind of thing. This should be right up their alley with this registration thing. There shouldn't have been any issues.
I think they do that stuff on purpose. I swear to God.
Sabotage themselves, man.
Hey, listen, they've been shooting themselves in the foot this whole generation, so I don't know what the hell's going on, bro.
Well, it's like they take a couple steps forward and then they just go backwards for some reason.
Yeah, I really listen. I before I used to say, it's maybe they didn't understand, but they do it all the time. It never fails, yo. So I don't know. Where were you coming up from? Are you far from Cali?
He lives in Florida.
I'm in Florida.
Oh, yeah, Florida. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's why I wanted to if we got the tickets and stuff, and get everything in advance. And I feel bad for like all those people that were already booking flights. Although I thought that was kind of a little premature. You probably shouldn't have done that. You should probably just waited.
So I'm sorry, because I'll be out the loop. So Microsoft was giving away tickets to get a pre 400 tickets.
Yeah, it was like 400 in the registration. Then there was like another 100 they're going to give out some other way.
Okay, so a pre E3 show for Saturday. The E3 is Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
For them, all right. For Saturday, you get to check out the Scorpio and play with games, give out free stuff. Okay, and they gave out 2,000, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, GKB, yeah, I just want to like kind of rest your nerves, just because what they're going to do is they're going to send you an email with something special inside. So you got to be excited for that, right? I mean, it's got to be comparable to going to E3. I mean,
I didn't get to the first registration round. I was going for the second one, so I was waiting. And then like 12 o'clock, they're like, sorry, guys, you got to wait. So something was going on then. So I didn't get in the first one. So I wasn't one of the lucky ones that might get something from that. So,
but you guys didn't make it. Are you guys gonna try for the new ones?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. They're giving away all 400 this time, all at once. So it's gonna be a scramble for it. So
yeah, that's that seems like that probably should have been the way that they did in the first place. I mean, look, I don't want to sound too hard on them or whatever.
No, they're giving away like free E3 tickets and go see the press conference stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah, so it's it's for free and it's for the fans. I was actually kind of surprised that the media didn't jump on them.
Me too, man.
A little bit.
I was waiting for like the first articles and like videos to come up and be like, oh, Microsoft screws it over again.
Yeah, I don't know, guys, that's 2 years in a row, and I understand it's free and everything like that. My biggest question is like, because people got like really hyped. I mean, you got new hardware coming out, E3, like they thought they got their tickets, man. Everything was good, all that good stuff. What do you think they're gonna give to people? Do you think like a free game or something like that would be comparable?
You're gonna get the Gears collection 1, 2, 3.
Hey, you're getting Gears collection, and I'm sure they've got plenty of leftover Halo Wars 2 codes.
Yeah, they're gonna give you that.
Well, I actually heard Snap's heard a rumor. All right, so this is not verified. Everybody in the chat, no, it's not verified, but possibly $15, like an Xbox credit. Like,
woo, 15! Don't bust me up.
No, to be fair, they really don't have to give you anything, honestly, because they're giving you like free stuff anyway. So I mean, they don't really have to do it.
GKV, I understand what you're saying, but 2 years in a row, there's been problems.
No, I agree, bro.
At the end of the day, it's on them. All right, and
absolutely
cause that hype, and then to let down. Over 2,000 people, like they got to do something for that in terms of PR and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But
I got a question.
Hold on. Oh. We have a very special guest in here.
Oh my
Hey now.
We do. It's Mooch.
What's up, everybody?
Had to come in and see Crossfire on Sunday.
No, Crossfire's dead, guys.
Crossfire died. What's up, everybody? Next Gen, what's good, people?
What's going on, good brother? How you feeling?
Say what's up to my family. I was doing the MOOCH World Tour, and I said that this week cannot be complete without coming back to the original homestead. So I'm home on BGST. What's good, everybody?
Everything's cool, my man. Woo.
That's my boy. Well, listen, let's be honest. I mean, E3's a month after this broadcast of BGST, and nobody does E3 like Zaire's day-to-day coverage. So, we are going to be on, I think, from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. that day.
E3 starting Sunday. It's starting Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now listen, we got to get this out there. Are we going to do Nintendo or what? Are we going to do that?
I think we should cover the whole gamut, shouldn't we? I mean,
Yeah,
if
we're gonna be covering.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so much coverage going on. I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of people like jumping into different podcasts and stuff because we always do morning, we do pre-show, we do during show, and we do after show. So
After show.
yeah. So I mean, like, do you remember last E3 how fucking tired we were after that? It was like that, and we had to do most of it on Mooch's channel because YouTube fucked up. And he was the only one that could start a room.
Yeah. Now I do. I remember that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it's a grueling schedule, man. Like, because we were doing it on like Gamers Knows Best channel too, man. And oh my god, I was so beat after like 2 days of just covering that stuff.
It is exhausting, isn't it? And the funny part about it is if you go back to last year and listen to, especially when we were going Crap's channel, my channel at the end, and then Zaire's during it live. The funny part about all of that was we just drained in energy. I don't think we ate. Like we just kept on going, and it was just like everything slowed into slow motion by the end of the evening. It was, but I mean, I think that's everybody. Even the media says that it's a tough day. You know, I mean,
absolutely.
It's
when it comes to coverage, you do everything except the PC gamers like little conference thing, right?
Yeah.
No, but they don't have a conference.
Last year, Next was the only one that kind of covered it. We went like halfway through, and then we're like,
I didn't know who speaks up for PC or AMD and NVIDIA? Do they have a conference?
They have some kind of weird conference where they just sit on a couch talking or something.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. That's not exactly my thing. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was kind of like to me, like that stuff is more power to people if you like PC or whatever, but that's just not my bag. So
I don't think we're getting into that this year.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like unless you cover that stuff as a point of your channel, then there's not really any point to.
Yeah, like the PC one was kind of like some like wannabe like talk show kind of thing. It wasn't even really like an E3 show, like a normal one, like from Sony and Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. If they did something like that, where it's like a big screen and showing all kinds of cool stuff, I'd be into it. But if they're gonna do that like couch thing, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
You know what I think? And I know. The problem with PC is
oh goodness.
Oh shit! I get GKB. Who speaks for the PC? Like, far as who is it? Dell, Hewlett Packard. You know what I mean?
It's open, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's just like they had Phil Spencer go up there once, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably so.
Yeah, that was when they were pushing. Yeah, they were pushing that. Well, no, it's not really Kumbaya. They were pushing their whole narrative or whatever of play anywhere and all that kind of stuff. So I think that was kind of what they were trying to accomplish or whatever. So like for me, like that's not a real big deal, but I think that all eyes are going to be on Microsoft, obviously.
Absolutely.
They've got the Sunday to themselves. I mean, the Bethesda stuff afterwards, but I actually expect that to tie in with what Microsoft is doing.
Okay,
as far as Scorpio.
Yes, I'm sorry. Like last year, you remember Microsoft, what did they have Fallout 3 last year? Or was it what did Microsoft
Fallout 4? They had Fallout 4.
Okay, whatever, Fallout 4, I'm sorry. Like I said to you guys last year that I don't see the purpose of EA's, Ubisoft's, or Bethesda's presentation if their games are going to come to the Xbox and PlayStation. I don't understand it because they kind of because Microsoft showed whatever they showed the same game that Bethesda showed the day before. They kind of was underwhelming. Like we already know that was coming out. So what's the purpose of?
They can show them off a little bit more. One thing is. Microsoft had to get out in front of Bethesda because the likelihood is Bethesda's going to show off shit that Microsoft is going to have on Scorpio. Yeah. And do you want that to be shown off before you show off Scorpio? Like to me, it only makes sense that you go first.
I think the other thing, like with Bethesda and stuff going, and they were showing stuff. They were showing Fallout 4 on Microsoft stage too, but they did it in a different way where they were showing features and they were talking about like the mods and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was an interesting way to do it instead of just showing like another trailer of like Fallout 4 stuff.
Yeah, I think they did it the right way. Unfortunately, I think that we're gonna get, or fortunately, depending on if you like this kind of thing, the Fallout 4 VR stuff. Like I got a feeling that Microsoft has some VR shit that they're gonna talk about.
Oh yeah, Microsoft's got like 6 VR headsets with partners in development right now. They're definitely going to talk VR at some point in time at E3.
Well, hasn't Aaron come out and already confirmed that Scorpio will have some exclusive VR games?
Yeah, they said that the pretty much the only exclusives it's going to get are VR games.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Well, I
Mooch,
mean, the one thing I've been
Hey.
thinking about, to be honest with you, though, is this is going to be one of those times that's kind of like the NFL draft. I'm looking forward to a little bit of this boring talk. Let me tell you what I mean. I want to see Bethesda. I want to see EA come up when Microsoft's presenting at E3 and pronounce their undevoted love for the Scorpio. That doesn't mean you're going to see games, but if they are able to get all these people to come up on stage and give their approval and that they're working hard and they're going to contribute to this platform, you've got to understand something. You might not walk away amazed, but you know who will be amazed? All the investors, all the people that Microsoft that were like, was Phil really onto something here? So you got to remember, if you see a lot of these people come up, like, the boring part of the Oscars, the Academy Awards, you know what I mean? The award show where you're like, who gives a shit about this 95-year-old director who gets up here and talks about how great George Clooney was in his 85th movie this year? Nobody cares. But everyone that's sitting there, right? Everyone that's sitting in that audience is fucking clapping their hands. People are lighting a match. The reason being this is happening is because those are the people that are the money. So you want the Todd Howards. You want who will be the next EA director. You want these people all on stage saying and proclaiming that they stand behind Phil and Project Scorpio's the future. So I will be the voice of reason on E3. If for some reason we don't see some of these companies showing new games, they're just progressing and showing their fondness towards this new platform. It's a huge deal. You just got to remember that this is this stage is going to be set for Phil to show that he's got the power back. It's almost like the end of Godfather 2, okay? It's when Corleone took out the other 5 family members.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't want that whole E3 to be like, hey, guys, let's pat each other on the back and let's talk about the Scorpio and this, that, and the other, man. I want to see what the Scorpio is going to do. I want to see those games. So if, Howard's going to get up there and whatever, he needs to show off some freaking damn good games, bro.
I think all you're going to see, though, is Fallout 4. I mean, I think that's all you're going to see,
Well, I mean, that's fine if it's like in the VR aspect, because we haven't seen anything running on the Scorpio with VR and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be interesting. And the headsets and all that kind of stuff.
When is Prey coming out?
This holiday season.
Hey, no, it's coming out
What's up,
before
nigga?
E3.
No, it's coming out pretty soon.
Before
It's coming out
E3?
before E3. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming
Well,
out May
E3 is
5th. Yeah, May 5th.
E3 is I'm sorry. E3 is in June.
June, yeah. And
In 2 weeks, so a week and a half, it'll be May. They have zero promotion for this game.
well, the promotion is going to be that it's a game, and it's going to have a demo at a time when there's not a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, which me and Mooch were talking about this earlier this morning, Friday the 13th comes out May 25th, and that's going to be a great streaming game.
I think that may get pushed back because you can't.
No. Friday the 13th, they just now confirmed that release date.
No, the reason I'm saying because you're not. It says here I got something. It says here for anyone asking about this is actually from Friday the 13th, the company developer. For anyone asking, pre-orders are not available at this time. We have info soon for Steam, Xbox, but PS4 will not have pre-orders.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what's up with that. They just announced.
I'll let you know. OSnaps is a backer of that title, and they did say Friday 13th, May 26th for sure.
You know what's kind of? I would thought that game would probably come out around holiday. Halloween, but we shall see. I don't
it is funny. It does make a lot of sense, K Mega. That's 100% right. I thought that game was destined for a Halloween release or a fall release.
Yeah.
But the thing is I guess the old saying, time is money, and they got this thing ready to go. And let's be honest, though, Z. There's no time, and I'm speaking to you're another pioneer in this world. You're doing Beam every day, right? Like everyone's streaming. There's no better game that I could think of than Friday the 13th to watch this game streamed with 5-6 people freaking the fuck out, right? I mean, this game is seriously going to get emotions riled up, and it's going to be entertaining to watch, let alone play.
Like everybody's streaming now, right? Like GKB, you, She-Wolf, you stream. Xbot, you, Mel, you stream. K-Mega, I'm not sure if you stream much on Beam.
I'm going to start streaming when Injustice comes out.
Yeah.
Justice and Tekken, I'm going to be, that's when Justice comes, that's when the streaming starts for me.
Yeah, Mooch and Crap, we stream every Friday night, by the way, on Mooch's channel.
Beam or Twitch? What are you using?
We use Beam. We're dude, this is now's the time to get in on Beam. You're an
YouTube.
OG Beam user. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna blow up. That's gonna be huge. We've been using that for the past couple of Fridays. It's been very active with the chat and stuff like that. It's been good. Like Next Gen, what I see you doing is doing really well on Beam as well. And like GKB, they're active on that. Like that's
I have to get
people
numbers.
are they're really responding to that.
I love that low latency, man. It's like just talk.
Yeah,
That is the key. I guess the and the interactive stuff. I'm gonna buy. This is like damn. I can finally use my Elgato. Thank you, Jay Williams. I gave my shit to Jay Williams. I got to get another one for the interactive stuff. But it is low latency. You know what I mean? I will give it to that. Or I guess you still can use the Twitch. They probably can't ever get rid of that because people use it. You know what I mean? Be one for Sony, but
they did actually up the damn partnership requirements on Beam though. I guess because so many people were applying, which I guess is a good thing. But then like it really kind of maybe is disheartening for new users.
Yeah, I would say this. I'm sorry. I'm saying this one thing. As far as with the partnership, they did, I guess, up it, but Twitch, I guess, not to be outdone, they are letting like YouTube. You know what I mean? Letting anyone, your partner, whatever, just 20 hours. So I don't know. Maybe Microsoft may have to.
Well, Twitch is also letting you upload videos as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So that was just.
It's really mirroring YouTube. I'm the type.
Exactly.
I know all you guys are doing what you do on Beam, and you guys are doing a great job. I'm just the type of person, like, I like having everything all in one place, and I've been on YouTube, so like whenever I can, we have the Elgato here and stuff like that. I still stream directly to YouTube, man.
Yeah,
we do that as well too, man. Like,
well, yeah, and GKB, that's what's great about Beam. I think it's like it's really interactive with the community and stuff, and again, you get like the alerts and stuff. Like I get
with Beam though. And listen, we got a lot of Beam like professionals in here with GKB and Zaire do it way more than I do. But like my whole thing is that once you stream on Beam, then it goes into your VODs, right? VODs, and from there you go in, and then you can upload it to YouTube. Correct?
Yeah,
you can download it and then you upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so point being is that you can't stream on Beam and go, simultaneously to your YouTube channel.
GKB does.
Yeah, you can.
Well, you can if you're savvy enough, you can have your Twitch, YouTube, and Beam going.
Yeah, but you have to also have like $1,500 in software and somebody.
You have to use. Yeah, you have to use like OBS and stuff, and then go into Restream. It's like a web browser that uses other servers and stuff, and pretty much you just shoot your stream into there, and then it codes out to whatever other social medias you want to go to.
Right.
Yeah, it can do it. I mean, if you're not PC illiterate and all that stuff, or we want to keep it simple. I like it. I like the fact you can go straight from the
Xbox and stuff.
Yeah. Well, even with the Twitch. Only thing I don't like, as far as the camera, I think the Twitch was 720p or something, that kind of sucked. But other than that, I like Bing, cool stuff.
Yeah, well, I like that because did you guys see that new survey thing that more people watch gaming streams and gaming videos than like all the other mediums? Like it's like they watch that more than Netflix and Hulu and all these things combined. That just tells you how huge gaming is. Like I oftentimes, like, you'll catch me on YouTube on Xbox One, or I see you guys on YouTube or whatever, and we're all like checking out content, and that just goes to show you that there's such a boom in that right now. Like now's the time to kind of get in on that stuff. Sadly,
Xbox crap on Twitter.
Yeah, sadly, none of us have in this room have the tits to really get like huge, but I mean, I do, but I don't think they're the kind that started. Yeah, they're not the kind that people.
There's a new thing too called VidMe. Oh, I don't know how new it is or how old it is, but there's a new thing called VidMe.
A lot of people or YouTubers or whatever are starting to put their content on VidMe because we can address the elephant as far as YouTube with the AdSense and stuff. So a lot of people are posting their content on, I guess they say, quote unquote, throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
I'm doing that. I got me a couple of videos out there. I got posted the GRG last week's episode on there as well. And everything shows in really good high quality too over there. I think they just let you do whatever you want to do. How I found out was from Miss K and another YouTuber that she's associated with because they were just completely tired of YouTube and their policies. So they went there. So I checked it out and I was like, let me see what's going on here. So Cool. That's pretty cool.
Hey, what did you guys think about the Call of Duty World War II official announcement there? I guess I was a little bit kind of taken aback that Microsoft advertised the reveal that's coming because Activision announced that they're going to officially reveal Call of Duty World War II, right? And Microsoft, what they did was they did an Xbox Wire saying, "Hey, check out the reveal of Call of Duty World War II, this blah 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 on the 26th." Right. So, and a lot of the leak stuff showed promotional stuff on Xbox One, but it does turn out that PS4 does still have the 30-day timed map packs or whatever. But it was yeah. So, but it was still cool to see Microsoft talk about Call of Duty, talk about Battlefront 2, despite the fact that they don't have marketing deals on either of those. And if you listen to Major Nelson on Friday when he did This Weekend on Xbox, that whole episode was dedicated to Battlefront 2. And then at the end, he said the best place to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to be on Xbox Scorpio with EA Access. I mean, flat out, just said it.
Let me ask you guys. Mooch, I haven't talked to you forever, Mooch. So, hey, first of all, hey, stranger. Look, let me ask you a question. All right, I mean, again, Mooch, that's my game. Star Wars Battlefront. That. So, do you think this was a multi-year deal game with as far as Sony with the marketing rights?
No, I think from what we're hearing, and I mean this is from the news sources that I've read, and also I think Crap got something on this. I heard that basically we're looking at that Sony sidestepped EA, and they've got to deal with Disney. Yeah. Because don't forget Sony's big in the movie industry. But let's put it this way: like in all honesty, we've got to stop here and look at what the past is. Right, the past repeats itself, and in the past 3 years, Xbox One was a victim that even when they had marketing rights for games, you had the media, which the media won't do this, everybody, so take that with a grain of salt. But the media before was like, why would you buy it on the Xbox One when you can buy it on the PS4 and play it in better resolution, right? Like for your money, right? And it was a good argument, even though Microsoft had the rights and they maybe had some DLC or some other things. Long story longer is, if you fast forward to today, let's hope that the same medicine that worked for Sony works now, where Microsoft is now going to do what Major Nelson did this past Friday. Aaron Greenberg's been doing every single day on Twitter saying, yeah, they got the marketing rights. We got the better game. You know what I mean? Basically, we've got the better looking game. It's going to be on EA Access a week earlier, and you're going to get 10% off digitally. So it's cheaper, better, and earlier, but those people can put a commercial out on a fucking box of fucking Cheerios. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I've been saying, Mooch, is let the game be shown. And you got a kiosk with the PlayStation Pro, and you got the kiosk with the Scorpio. It's not even going to be, it's nothing. It's all about what the Scorpio is going to do. That's why I've been saying the price is the main focal point, not about the marketing deal. I know that's been the talk of the town here lately, but you know what? If I see something that looks 10 times better than what's on the other side, I'm going to gravitate to that. I don't care how many commercials they show of that.
Well, here's the thing about like the whole marketing thing, right? Like, we have to be wary of the whole marketing thing because Sony is really smart in their advertising and all that kind of stuff. And you have people today that still think those games are only on Sony. So it's really smart, like what Microsoft's doing right now and coming out and saying, hey, we're going to have the best one. And they're pushing it. No matter what Sony is throwing money at games, Microsoft is going out there and saying, we have it and we have it better.
Well, it's funny, Mooch, like when you're talking about the media, all of a sudden it's going to flip-flop now, and the marketing is going to be what matters to the media, and the DLC is going to be what matters to the media, which is awesome that we have a voice here, and we have such a community that comes to YouTube and channels like Next Gens, like Craps, like mine, who will let them know exactly what's going on as well.
Well, it's important though, Xbox, to remember though what I thought was a very stellar act by Microsoft. The last time they did anything this sneaky with what Major Nelson did by dressing up like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But by the way, a sidebar conversation here is, well, I love Larry to death, but can we please put somebody a little younger into the advertising campaign? But anyways,
Larry, man.
But what I'm saying is basically I'm sorry, man. I love Larry.
Justine for President Mooch.
Justine, only if I can present with her at the next broadcast game anymore. But nonetheless, wait 1 second, please. No, but the whole thing is we see that Larry went and took a jab saying it's the best place to play Star Wars Battlefront.
Which is
and they
directly stealing Sony's line, the best place to play.
Correct. Which is great. But at the same time, they're doing what they did when Destiny came out with the Destiny Cologne. You guys remember that? They were like Destiny Cologne by Microsoft. And, the whole thing that was fun, they had to take it down, but it was like I was telling crap. Anybody knows this. You watch any court shows on TV when they're like, when the defense says something and then the judge says something like, I want the court to not pay attention to that with that stricken from the evidence. The jury already heard it. So when Microsoft, right? So when Microsoft comes out and says this kind of stuff, it's very important that everybody catches it. Even if they have to retract it later, everyone heard, wait. Didn't Microsoft say they have the better version? People who are not in the know, people who don't watch these podcasts, they're going to say, why did Microsoft say that? And then somebody has to answer them. Hopefully somebody at GameStop has enough knowledge to say, well, this is true 4K. It's a very powerful machine. Oh, let me get it for the Scorpio then. You know what I mean? And that's what Microsoft's hoping happens. And it worked for Sony the past 3 years.
So this is my angle where I say, well, they should at least have one, because again, all eyes are going to be on Scorpio this E3. You know what I mean? And because we have our finger on the pulse, we know that it's going to run and look better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But people want to see the casual. You know what I mean? And to me, like I said, I think this is that's of course it's going to do better, but Star Wars Battlefront is going to be huge this holiday season. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to be able to show that on stage and actually see it ourselves, or the average Joe Schmo running on Scorpio, that would be I know Microsoft will probably have Assassin's Creed.
They're gonna have they're also gonna have the new Splinter Cell. That's all but confirmed that they're gonna have like the market. Hey, you know what? We get like 400 people watching, and some of you guys just never hit that goddamn like button.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, come on, man, hit the like button. I got Mooch in here. I got GKB. We got K Mega over here, even though his team lost.
Come on, man. Come on.
We've got Xbox here. We've got Next Gen here, even though his throat hurts from sucking dicks. Come on, man. All you guys gotta do is give us a little love, man. Come on. Come on, man. Damn. We got an e-bag.
Listen here, man. I need listen.
Cold blooded.
Thank you very much. You know what I mean? But as I don't know. I just thought that you know what? I guess things kind of speaks in volumes. Remember a fan, or I hate to call somebody a fan, but an Xbox guy asked Phil about the marketing rights. So whatever, I forgot what game it was, and he was like, I don't know why gamers care so much about third-party marketing deals or whatever the case. Something along that in the Twitter, maybe a month and a half ago. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't really matter because it is coming out on both consoles. But this generation, that Sony fans or whoever, I won't even say Sony fans, the zealots have used everything as for ammunition, for their, the gun for this console. You know what I mean? Map packs, DLC. Now, me personally, I don't buy any map packs. I'm buying DC DLC, and my man of very little means. But you know what I mean?
Whatever falls off the truck, you take.
No, my man.
Yeah. You can't get DLC off the truck. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would love to see. Listen. I like Star Wars Battlefront. I don't really care for Duty. I might get into Destiny this year. I might even you might even catch me on CMT. You might even catch my black ass on that boat. I don't know because I'm streaming.
Did you say Destiny?
Yeah, I might get Destiny. I don't know. I'm saying, you know what I mean? You know what's crazy? I was watching some streams. I even started to watch people's streams. I've never done this, and I'm watching streams, eating crackers, drinking water. Most not 2 o'clock in the morning. It looks cool to stream, you know what I mean? So I'm probably gonna buy a lot of these games. I just want, I don't know, just to wave that 4K cock around, man, and say, hey, you know what I mean?
Man, you sound like a PC guy all of a sudden.
No, you listen, MOOCH, we could even enjoy our betas this generation. You know what I mean? It's in 720p or something.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been crazy,
It has been very bad, and now since she was on the other foot now, we're going to see what a lot of these people that jump ship, what they're going to do. We'll see what the media does.
Come back.
Well, I know, but the thing of it is that how are they going to do it? Like how are they just going to just blatantly jump over, or are they going to just slowly? Oh, you had me mistaken. I just like the PlayStation for just.
Hey, Meg, I'll give you a perfect example of what's going on. Right, we were doing MNC mornings this morning. I don't know, some some dude was in the chat and he was like, well, you know, if you can't really tell the difference between native 4K and checkerboard 4K. I shit you not, this PS4 dude, I forget the guy's name. I have him blocked on my channel, but when we're doing a mooches, he's there. And so that's what he literally said. And I almost spit out my drink. Of course, I was having a good time, like, because we were.
He said what? I'm sorry. I took my
he said checkerboarding 4K looks pretty much just as good as native 4K.
Was that the guy on Twitter this morning?
That was that other dude who, like, that guy's diluted in and of himself as well. And I had his old account blocked, and I think I muted him again. But with this, right? This is the thing that they don't understand, and I love explaining this in such a way. I have a PS4 Pro. If I take a screenshot in the 4K checkerboard mode of Horizon Zero Dawn and share that on Twitter, and then switch it right over to the regular mode or whatever, and take that picture from the same spot and everything, and share that on Twitter, they're not going to be able to see a difference.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to see a difference. Now, with Xbox Scorpio, you're going to see a huge difference, not because of resolution. The resolution is the fucking cherry on top. The real difference is the graphical fidelity, because that is the difference. The reason why they're able to do that is because they have the memory bandwidth and the memory free to use. Brad Wardell just said, and there was an article today that what the fuck did this man say? He said something.
There's no limitations in games because of the memory bandwidth and all that.
No limitations, right? No
trade-offs.
Limitations.
He also went on to say that too, like, developers for the next 2 years aren't even going to be able to take the full advantage of the Scorpio.
Yeah, so Scorpio is kind of future-proofed, and when people are going, oh, well, what if PS5 comes out in a few years? Who cares? Because they're not even fully utilizing Xbox Scorpio. This is exactly what he said. He said Scorpio's 12 gigabytes of RAM means no real technical limit. It'll take up to 2 years to fully utilize its power.
Crap, we're also going to get to a point right now where technology will, even though technology continues to grow every single year, right? When the Samsung 6 came out and then the 7, people were like, eh. When the iPhone 6 and then the 7 came out, people were like, eh. Didn't need to upgrade. The point of the matter is let's put it this way. If Zaire lived next door to K Mega and Zaire had $1.6 billion in his bank account and K Mega has $1.3 billion, Zaire ain't going to open his window and be like, you're poor as hell. No, he's not. Because the point of the matter is they both got so much goddamn money. My point being
you don't know Z like I do then.
He might troll you out, K-Mega. That's true. But my point of the matter is this. When you get to a certain point when PS5 and Scorpio 2 come out, or even PS5 comes out 12 months before because Scorpio's still out, right? We get the Scorpio now. If you're at 8.5 teraflops and we're pushing 6.4, 6.7 when it's maxed out, eventually these developers, they're already at maximum. The point of the matter is you're going to start to plateau. Everything plateaus, even business, your favorite business in everybody's hometown, pizza place, coffee shop. If you go and ask them on their second year of business after they open 2 years, how you doing in here? They're going to tell you, oh my God, shit is fantastic. I can't even I don't have enough tables in here for the people coming in. Blah, blah. Now go talk to that same person 6, 7 years in. They're going to be like, yeah, shit's good. Because they plateaued. They know what's coming in on Friday. They know what's coming in on Saturday. The same thing's going to happen with hardware after a while. We're going to plateau. Now, don't get me wrong. In 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years from now, maybe again we'll hit a spike. But until then, the same thing happens in real estate. When the real estate spikes, it spikes. People make money real quick. After that, it plateaus for a decade. That's the same thing here. So what Microsoft's actually doing is for the next 2 years, they're going to have a leg up. They're going to have a huge leg up until PS5 comes out. Then when that comes out, Phil already said Scorpio 2, the successor to Scorpio, is already in the works. It's already in the planning stage. Same way Sony's working on it. So they're going to keep up with the Joneses. Everything's going to be just fine. So realistically, Microsoft has a huge, huge ability to capitalize for the next 2 years. It's a big move by Microsoft.
And another thing that's really positive is that it's gonna have to push Sony to complement what the Scorpio is doing with the PlayStation 5. I don't have any doubts that the PlayStation 5 will be powerful.
Absolutely.
But what about the games? I mean, we're talking about a company that's not financially stable yet. I mean, we know that PlayStation has been their cash cow, but it's just like this year. They're going to be throwing out tons of games. My question is, what's going to happen next year? Are they going to have another sparse moment? Because they put a lot of games out there to counteract the Scorpio, and I'm wondering if they can maintain that same thing all year round, and then have the PlayStation 5, and then have all the games coming out for that. I just don't think that they're financially stable to do all that.
Well, Mega, not for anything, but if you take Sony's track record, and there's a lot of supposed titles coming out this year, but when it's all said and done, you know, there's some, they don't call it a delay station for nothing, man. When it comes to the exclusives, exclusives have been known to be delayed on that platform. But what Mooch brought up, I think what's really cool with that is with Microsoft and Xbox not, you know, doing away with that whole generation thing, that there's no issue with them like 2 years after the Scorpio comes out to come out with another Xbox One iteration that's even more powerful as well, as long as the games still work on what they call the Xbox One family of devices. And I think
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I want to ask the question. Okay, I'm sorry.
What the hell is that?
what's what?
What the hell was that?
I'm fucking playing a fucking flute or something.
That is not my microphone, by the way.
No, I know that. It sounds like a goddamn flute, man. I'm like, what the? I'm sorry, like, dude, you guys don't hear that?
I don't know.
I hear it, dude.
I know we're happy that Mooch is back, but I mean, come on, G.
Uncle Mooch is back. Bing,
He did that old Joe Pesci.
But yo, Mooch, check this out. Like in the beginning, when Microsoft talked about, you know, kind of doing away with generations, a lot of people in the gaming community was like, what the fuck's going on here and stuff like that. But now when you see when Scorpio comes out, and then 2 years down the line, if the PS5 comes out, right, and it's got the Ryzen and the Vega or whatever, what's to stop Microsoft from coming out with another Xbox One family of devices? That's
I don't think it's not. It's still a business. Let's be clear. This when it comes to business, Microsoft is good and sometimes too good. They're not just going to go out there and just put out another hardware because Sony, because it is the PS5 when it comes out is going to be more powerful than the Scorpio. It's more technology, and that's which is fine. But here's the thing: what I'm kind of not understanding. Maybe he says that. From the guy Brad Waddell, says it's going to take developers at least 2 years, right, to fully max out the Scorpio or whatever. But if they're going to use UDP or whatever the case may be, and the games are going to scale up to scale down, or are they going to stop making games for the Xbox One S or Xbox One, whatever, and just make exclusives for the Scorpio and worry about things being maxed out?
Well, I think eventually that's going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
What I think is going to happen is if you look at like the cell phone market, right? If you look at your iPhones and stuff like that, they'll keep coming out with new apps and updates to apps and stuff like that. But eventually, somewhere down the line, your iPhone, let's say 4 or something like that, won't run those apps anymore. And I think that's what's going to happen is as you go further down the line, as you go years into this whole no generation thing, eventually the Xbox One, that original launch one, is not going to be able to run those things anymore. So you're just going to take that and push it to the side. The S is going to be the
new base model.
Yeah.
Okay. With that being said,
Scorpio, and that's kind of that's what I see them doing. Okay, and it makes sense to me, man.
Okay, listen, I'm with you 135%. I'm with you, but you look at PC gamers, right? One advantage they have always had over console gamers is that their library never gets old. They always have their library with them. You know what I mean? Now the introduction console and for the Xbox One, for Microsoft, the Xbox is the Xbox One S or whatever, the Xbox One period. Until that's what 1.3 teraflops. If you look at the bare minimum of specs required to run some of these games, you can run a lot of these games on a 560 Ti for shits and giggles, right? And they give you the least recommended specs and high, and what they recommend to run a game at its full potential and what you need just to run the game. Believe it or not, the Xbox One is more powerful. I know than a lot of people, gaming rigs, because like I said, for optimization, they're able to, what consoles have that PC guys don't have. You know what I mean? Only 34% of those guys, or 33%, that took the survey, were able to run games at 1080p, 60 frames a second, or whatever. Where less than 3 or 4% can do 4K, if that. So I don't. And look at the 360's been around. Came out when in 2005. It's now 2017. and it's still getting games, whether it's Madden or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think the Xbox One is going to go anywhere anytime soon, unless it's not cost efficient for them to make it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to go away like in a year or two.
No. I'm not
like,
saying. I'm just saying by the time,
like 3 to 5 years or something like that. Then,
you say 5 years from now, right? 5 years. So the console came out in 2013. 5 years from now would be what? 2022.
Something like that. Look, that's when I think that the new Xbox is going to come out. Is 2021, be the 20-year anniversary of Xbox, and it would just make perfect sense. So yeah, I mean, by that time you would have plenty of plenty of people already have the Xbox One S. Plenty of people will definitely have the Scorpio, and and I think like the they'll do it just like the 360. Well, they only have certain games come on I don't know, but I mean with the technology that they said that they have in the S. In the DirectX 12, I have no idea, guys. I mean, this little thing could still be running just as long as until 2022.
Yeah, and it's still x86. As long as they're not moving away from x86, it's probably going to be here for a while.
Well, the way that they're custom and shit, man. I mean, I'm not putting anything past Microsoft now for what they're doing with these components, and they're just making it into what they want it to be. Who knows?
I think realistically, though, Mega, at this point, we have to look at it like this: the successor to Scorpio will come out when PS5 is announced. It'll come out same time or 12 months later.
And they can do that.
They can do that now because they have this threshold of power in the Scorpio to at least compete for that extra year, so that Sony will have a year and then Microsoft will have 2 years, because they'll always one up the ante. This puts Microsoft in a good position. And the other thing I thought was funny was Mega. Shout out to you right there. Mega is like, and that makes sense at 2021 because that's the 20th anniversary. We've been saying shit like that on these podcasts for like 3 or 4 years. Pretty soon we're gonna be like, 2022 makes sense because that's Phil's 52nd birthday, and that's why it should come out. No, so I tell you, all this nostalgia shit of like when it was and commemorative years and stuff, that's all like that don't mean, for some reason that means a lot to us and it means shit to corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't give a rat's ass about that shit.
Well, I'm just saying I think it's gonna be a long time before we see even the PS5 or the Xbox
2 years,
2.
man. 2 years.
No.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little bit longer. The PlayStation is dominating this generation. They're going to want to extend this generation as long as they can. They're going to milk this cow. I mean, why would they want to go through all that process of making a brand new system, spending all that resource when they already have this, the gaming market locked down for probably another three more years. Solid.
I will say this, and I haven't spoken much. I want to ask another question. Look, and I guess that's just a fanboy argument. Well, Sony's going to come out with the PlayStation 5 next year. Is going to just crush the Scorpio. Sony doesn't have an incentive to release another console anytime soon because the console is still selling. Now, if it starts selling around like the Wii U, then get ready for the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? As long as they're still making money, that's what all that matters. But,
Sony's not going to jump and go, oh shit, let's speed it up. You know what I mean? Like, look, even Scorpio took 3 years. Sony's not going to go, oh shit, we better come out with something more powerful. I mean, it is funny to see them change the narrative themselves like that. Like this whole generation was built on power.
Crap, I got a question for you. So I'll let you finish your thought, but I have a question for you. If Scorpio starts to put a dent in America, in North America,
it's gonna outsell the
if it does though, will that get so many? And I'll tie it into Zaire asked me a question. He said, "What do you think?" I'm thinking you got to remember 2020 is at the end of 2020, almost 2021. Pardon me, is going to be about 7. But that's 7 years into the PS4 life cycle, which realistically is a max out because we went 9 years with last generation and we were choked out.
But guess what? Mooch? If you're forgetting, both the Scorpio and the PS4 are mid-gen refresh.
That's right. That is true.
So it's going to extend the console if we're going to still go by generation. Now this
it's got the capability of
This what I was told by somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So these quote unquote mid-gen or stop gaps or whatever, that's going to even extend if we're going to still go quote unquote by generations.
Right.
That's going to extend that. So,
Yes.
you know.
Well,
Zaire, are you sure you ain't a Guido? You said I got a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to say that, you know, before I get cursed. I know a guy that knows a guy.
All right.
So, D,
So-
you said these are mid-gen refreshes, right?
Yeah, not me.
So-
That's what Microsoft. That's what.
Yeah, well, no, I got you, man.
Yeah.
But all right, so this generation started in 2013,
Yes.
right? So the PS4 Pro came out in 2016.
Yes.
So if that's mid-gen, then 2019 holiday season, PlayStation 5.
Look like this, right? If the PlayStation 3 came out in 2013, and they didn't put out a stopgap console in 2016, probably a normal console life cycle was 5 years. 5 years. That's how it used to be. 5 years. 6 years max, or sometimes 4. So so in 2019, when they had a new console, but they just gave us new hardware that's 4.2 terabyte. I think a lot of people don't understand, whether Sony did kind of gimp up on the RAM, but and again, I guess probably to turn a profit, but that console was 4.2 teraflops. It's then at least it's twice as powerful as the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? So again, it's not like it's an obsolete piece of hardware. Maybe, like I said, I don't know. Maybe Sony has a shitty API as far as with their development tools and how they make their games. Well, Microsoft has a one up there as far as with that. But I wouldn't expect nothing from Sony, unless the PS4 again stops selling. And and it's just sitting on store shelves.
Possibility. Possibility.
But you know what? Here in America, but you got to realize this too. Sony is huge overseas. Outside that window, they're King Kong ain't got nothing. They're still, they have
good name recognition. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's what kept them in. Look at how badly they lost the last generation here in the States.
Yeah,
and they still were able to almost catch up to
whenever they either pull even or just whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So
well, again, that's according to the only place that ever said that they pulled even or went ahead was VG Charts. I have to believe that if Sony actually did beat the 360 in sales last gen, they would have made a press release for that because that's what Sony does. They brag about shit like that. So that's good. That leads me to believe that they didn't. And they were what, 20 million, 30, 20 to 30 million behind here in the States alone.
Yeah.
If Scorpio releases at $399 this holiday, they'll catch up
in the States
by the end of this year. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, not in the year.
Yeah.
You think about the end of the year? I think
by the end of the year.
I think when Microsoft's approach of this is
by the end of the year.
That's what you say. Crap. Listen, no man.
I can't promote that. I can't promote that.
What are they down here in the States? Probably about 10 million, maybe.
Here in the States, they're down 1 million or 12.
Yeah,
or
somebody said that last night that they were down by like a couple.
I'd say 2.5 million. Yeah. Listen, here's my thing.
I would 2 million. It's not even
that much. Yeah, it's
well,
not that much.
it was one a while ago. Crap. Here's my thing. I think you're on to something.
And they outsold them last year. The last half of the year, you have to remember that as well.
I do think the end of the year is a bit drastic, but I will say this much. It will eventually catch up in the States, it'll surpass by the end of this year.
Lock it in by the end of the year. If it's $399, it's happening.
I would add to what you're saying. We piggyback. You got to realize too, the PS4 is still out in more territories than the Xbox One by far. You know what I mean?
I'm only talking about America.
No. I'm just talking overall. So you know what I mean? Okay, but yeah, that's where they're gonna probably here. They're gonna again. But they probably will surpass them here just by the way that we buy games. Multi-plat, the better version of the multi-plat. I always said, multi-plat rule. You know what I mean?
Look, here's the rumor. October release, they moved it up. And if you guys want to know why, look at the Redstone 3. If you guys know what that is, that's when they're syncing up all their stuff. Right? That's like everything. Like GKB, you probably know about like the Redstone stuff, right?
Yeah.
That is happening in October.
Yeah.
Basically where they sync up like everything, all the windows, everything's going to be synced up. That's the perfect time to release the Scorpio. Get it out there in time for Call of Duty, for Battlefront 2, for Assassin's Creed.
We were saying this a long time, man. That November release, I just was like, no way, they can't do that. They got to push it up more. I was even thinking August. I mean, that would be a little too crazy, but
August is a sweet spot, GKB. Absolutely. Because then you can reap the benefits of Destiny. Everything that Sony is firing at you with marketing rights, you'll fire back at them with a better quality game.
Yeah, just look at what the Xbox One S did. I mean, they threw Sony for a loop, releasing it in August. I mean, that is the perfect spot. I mean, I've said this, a couple of weeks back. I just think, but I think Microsoft's approach is going to take this as, this is a marathon, not a sprint. In order for them to catch up in sales, they're going to have to slowly grind and just have their products speak for themselves. And I think eventually, over time, in the next couple of years, we'll start seeing those marketing deals start coming back towards the Xbox, just because it's going to have the more popular hardware.
Deals. I mean, if
I say a couple. I'm not saying everything, but I'm saying maybe one or two big ones. And they might do something with Bethesda when the next Skyrim comes out, something like that.
They have a good relationship. There's rumors that Bethesda has some kind of at least time deal with them for something this E3. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's almost a certainty that they're gonna like Fable is gonna make a comeback this year.
I hope.
There's a lot of interesting things. Like so many people, it's easy to get down. I can even get down on them sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's like, look at what Microsoft is gonna do compared to what Sony's gonna do. What's Sony gonna show off? Because they've already shown off shit that was 4 years out the past 2 years.
Can I bring something up real quick? Because I have a theory here, and this could get debunked, and we'll find out as we progress forward. But everyone's always like, man, here we go again. Sony's a genius, smartest fucking company in the world. Granted, they closed 85 departments this year, but nonetheless, they're the smartest, right? They grabbed that. Does anybody want to say something? I'm going to say it then. Here's the deal. Last year at E3, they showed us all these games that were coming out. And they're like, and everybody who was a Sony fan in the media, oh my God, 2017 holiday is going to be disgustingly sick. Sony's on top of their game. They've got everything coming out. Yeah. Do you guys maybe think they went and locked in these 4 multi-million-dollar deals with Destiny, COD, Red Dead Redemption, Battlefront 2, because all we're really going to get is maybe Days Gone? And maybe Days Gone isn't that good. People have said that have seen it. Maybe. So how come we're sitting here being like, wow, Sony's going to have God of War, Days Gone, this. People saw Last of Us 2 in a CGI, and they're like, that shit's got July 2017. Come on, man. You got to stop giving Sony credit before they actually even produce anything.
You know what, though? I would say this, though. The reason why, just take the look at it from a gamer standpoint. You know what I mean? We all have PlayStations here, I'm assuming, or whatever the case may be. And what they did again, like I've always said, it's not
some of us suckers have PlayStation 4 Pros.
Not this guy.
I know.
What did you say,
so anyway, as I was saying,
I knew better than that.
From a gamer aspect, it got us talking. Like I've always said, there's not a problem about them showing things early. It's the cancellation. People at the end of the day, we might fuss about pushing something getting pushed back, but as long as we're going to get it. I don't expect to see Those Days Gone next year because again, that's just too much. There is a rumor floating around that there says PlayStation All Stars 2 or something. Sony's bringing that out this holiday season. So.
That's going to be a cheap game. I don't think that game didn't sell back then. So what
I don't know, but I mean, listen here. You see how we were ragging on them about not buying their JRPGs from January 1st, and they went out to outsell Halo Wars 2. So you know what I mean?
That's true.
You know what I mean? So again, I'll get back to my words. What I was going to say, Mooch. We may get one of those games. We may get the Spider-Man. We might get the God of War. You know what I mean? Well, Sony can just do what they have always been doing. I guess is leaning back on their third-party deals, and they're going to have some theme consoles.
But people in the chat are going crazy. Listen, all I'm saying is if everybody in the chat is going to speculate, now I mean, listen, Sony fans, you want to speculate. That's fine. We do the same thing on all these podcasts, But Sony fans are like, watch out, Xbox fans. Here it comes. God of War, Detroit, this and that. They sound like fucking, they just sound like they're doing some kind of like movie phone. Everything just keeps coming out nonstop for 2017. My point is this. Money is short at Sony. We know this. That's just the way it is. So you're telling me they put out somewhere between 10 and 25 million. You guys be the judge. I'm not going to say which one for those 4 mega blockbusters. And you're telling me that if they have so much faith in their first party games that were coming out this fall, why would you blow $75 million on these 4 games? Why would you do that? You've got to do the math. Okay. And that's why I'm saying what I think is going to happen is that you're going to see these 4 games get marketed by Sony like they will be, and then you're going to see either Detroit or Days Gone pop up, and then you're going to have God of War come out in the spring, and you know what? Everyone's going to be like, that's genius.
Hey, yeah, next spring, people are going to be like, Microsoft needs a spring game.
Well, to be fair, let's be honest here. Like, the Scorpio's coming out. Sony knows the Scorpio's coming out. What's the best way to, fight the Scorpio is to get all these big, headliners and show them on their stage to get, all that stuff back there. So, from a business perspective, I think it's a good move by Sony. I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have, but.
Yeah, but listen, that's like if you're a baseball coach, GKB, and you got your son on the mound, okay, and you're like, listen, usually we only put 8 or 7 people behind them, but I'm going to put an extra 15 people behind them because I think my son's going to get shellacked. You know what I'm saying? I think they have no faith in their first party games. That's my problem here.
Yeah, I agree, Mooch. But also, like, if you're a baseball coach and you see, like, any kind of like major baseball player out there and you have the means to go ahead and grab that person, you're definitely going to do it because it's going to help out your team, right?
Right.
I mean, there's that perspective too.
But GKB and crap, I'll let you talk. GKB brings up a great point. The point of the matter is, but GKB, what you're saying is the status quo. That's what we've all been saying for the past 4 months. What I'm saying is I'm kind of looking at it a little bit differently. I'm just saying if me and you were the heads of Sony, okay, and we only have a budget, and you came up to me and you're like, Mooch, what I need from you is $75 million. I got to lock in these big deals. Wouldn't I turn around to you and say, but GKB, we've got God of War, I've got Detroit, I've got Days Gone, and I've got Spider-Man coming out that we just spent $150 million down on producing. Why don't we go do that? And you're like, well, the reason is those aren't ready. And I'd be like, well, buy those rights. So what I'm saying to you is I'm looking at it as a cover-up.
No, I get you. And like from my perspective, it's like, all right, well, here's all my good hitters. I know they're going to get on base, but I need some of those cleanup guys so they could just knock it out of the park and get all these guys home runs, right? Like, that's kind of where I'm coming from as far as like Sony's coming.
And also to what they're going to do.
I think we're both like on the same thing.
I'm with you, GKB. I just I'm looking at it on the other side. I'm just looking at it.
That's great.
You guys are both bringing up from both sides of the spectrum, front door and back. You're both bringing up good scenarios. But what Sony's going to do and what they've been doing this whole generation, I've said this again, how they kind of been out hustling Microsoft and that is that they're going to have again these Steam consoles. That's going to be big, and they're going to
they'll probably have like a Battlefront one or whatever.
Well, they showed that on stage. Then it was like a big fancy box, but it looked like still like a standard PlayStation 4 Pro that was in there.
It's just going to be a Pro with a with
box.
Like
a nice box though. It is a nice box, but they're going to probably maybe have a theme, PlayStation 4 Pro, theme Call of Duty one, maybe even a theme Red Dead Redemption. They're going to really theme us all out this holiday season. Also, too, we got what's rumored that Sony's going to probably show a remodel of the PS4 Pro. Maybe with a 4K Blu-ray player. So
they're not going to have a 4K Bluray player.
Watch this.
Never going to
crap, right?
Never going to happen.
Hey, Moose, what I say? Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
They're never going to. They'd have to phase out the other one completely. Then, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. But here's the thing. Also, with what Microsoft is doing. If you look at the top 20 best-selling games of 2016, there's not one PS4 or Xbox exclusive in that list. In the top 20, not one, right? But you know what? The year before, Halo 5 was in the top 20. Would you look at that?
Oh my!
But there was no Uncharted. There was no Uncharted in last year's top 20. But Halo 5 made it the previous year. But Halo's dead, right? I mean, come on, get the fuck out of here. At the end of the day, people are not. They're not buying exclusives like they used to for the most part, right? Unless you're a Halo, you're not getting bought, right? People buy multiplats, and this plays into exactly what I've been saying for years on BGST. When people go, what's the point in owning an Xbox? I can play that on PC. You're not fucking buying games on PC if you're a console gamer. You're buying them on console, and the fact that the top 20 is 18 multiplats and 2 fucking Pokemon games is telling you exactly that. We're buying games that are available on PC, but we're fucking buying them on our console, you dipshits.
Woo,
that's what we're doing.
Shit, crap
that's
is on fire.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, if you're a console gamer, you're playing on console, man.
Exactly. And people want to play the best. And the best is going to be on Xbox Scorpio. It's not PlayStation. It's not fucking anything else. It's Xbox Scorpio. That's all day.
And if it comes out at $399, like we think it's going to be, it's drop the mic moment, man. You can't build a PC or anything else on it for fucking that.
Hey, Mooch, let me get your price. What do you say? I say 5. What do you say, Mooch? Say
See, it's funny, man. I got to be honest with you. I've been teeter-toring back and forth for the past
Come
couple
on,
weeks.
pick
I know I was at 5, but I got to be honest with you. Here's the thing: even if legitimately it should retail at 5, if Microsoft wants to play the game, okay, if you want to play the game, they got to go at $399.
But listen, let's be honest.
Or three for $450.
You know, the problem is, K-Mega, realistically, money-wise, $450 would still put $20 in their pocket, but the problem is $450 don't appeal to people. Once you put that 4 up there, it's a wrap because their competition's going to knock. Listen, here we go again. Another E3 where Sony gets 24 hours to cheat off Microsoft's homework, right? So here we go again. Whatever Microsoft says, Sony drops it by 50 beans. We're good. So the problem is that even if PS4 Pro goes to $350, $399, $350, people can deal. They'll deal either way. You want to go for better graphics? They'll pay the $50, but they're not going to. Oh, of course they will. They're going to do anything listen. Sony's going to do anything they can to hurt Microsoft. That's what they do.
That's exactly what I've been saying. I said the same thing. I was like, you've let Sony off the hook twice. Don't do it this time. Don't do it this time.
They spun Sony out so hard last E3 that they cut their presentation 15 minutes short. They showed Days Gone twice. Who wanted to see a fucking AA game with zombies? They're fucking wannabe Dead Rising twice. Like, that's how fucking flipped out they were. They had a terrible E3. Sony's E3 was dog shit. Fucking orchestra. Hey, let's show that we completely changed. They completely fucked over God of War.
The first 20 minutes was good. The first 20 minutes.
Kratos is a motherfucker. He's not a nice guy. He's not a daddy. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
I agree.
Let's make it look like.
Listen, let me get my warrior word on right now. Let me be the voice of reason right now. Listen, okay?
No shit.
Sony again, and I said they don't really have an incentive to maybe give a price cut because it's still selling. You know what I mean? And again, and to answer you said, Mooch, say if Microsoft wants to play the game, I don't know. I don't think really, honestly, with this mic, I don't think about winning. You know what I mean, as long as it's selling and they're making money.
Okay, see, I got to stop you. I'm about to send your ass to Hades. You better get the truth.
Listen,
let me just say
I don't think Microsoft cares about that stuff, man.
No, it's okay. That's bullshit, and this is why. We were all asking this question a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, y'all guys are sounding like ridiculous. You know, oh, it's all this. I don't think they care anymore. When they come out here with this system, no, for them to put out the Scorpio, this is the "we heard you" console. If they weren't giving a damn about this so-called console war bullshit, then they wouldn't give a damn. They would just let us have the S and they would just move on. They give a damn. They actually do. They wouldn't be so quiet. There would already be leaks. There would be. They care, Z. They care. They actually do care about.
Okay, care, but as far as them, hey, we're going to lose $1 billion. We're not going to catch them. That's just a fanboy argument. Listen, it's about making money. At the end of the day, it's a business. At the end of the day, they're not. We're not. Well, not we. Like I work for them. They're not. This generation is. Even if we're still dealing with generation, they're down. I don't know what the fucking numbers are. They didn't stop keeping count, whatever, but they were down like 30 million or whatever they got them, 25 million. They're not going to close that distance. So, why lose money that we don't have to, we can still make money, which can go back into games. And I don't see them, doing that, man,
I just don't. I mean, I get what you're saying when it comes to the sales point. This isn't, like I said, this is a marathon. They're trying to win the hearts for the future of Microsoft. And I think with this mid-gen console being the most powerful thing that we've ever seen in our entire lives as gamers, that says something. That says something for critics, for major critics. That's one thing. You've heard all these fanboys and girls go crazy and talk shit about the Scorpio. Not one developer, not one person that's been around or knew anything about the Scorpio has said anything negative about it. That should tell you something. This thing is a behemoth. This thing is the real deal.
Mega, check this out, man. You talk about I don't think Microsoft is necessary. I really don't feel like they're thinking that they're going to catch up to Sony in terms of hardware sales or whatever. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to catch the consumer's mind again. They're all that shit that the media has talked about that they've downplayed for Xbox One. All of a sudden overall resolution mattered and stuff like that. They're wiping that slate completely clean. All right. And they're moving forward with the Scorpio. I think that's what they're doing. They're legitimizing themselves. That they're recreating their foundation with the gamers. All right.
Honestly, I think you're both
That's
right. I think to Xbox point, I think they're trying to grab the minds of the developers, the gamers, and all that kind of stuff. But in turn, it's going to go to K Mega, where that's going to relate to sales, building it up. And let's be honest, Microsoft's a business; they're in this to make money, sell consoles, sell video games, and do all that kind of stuff. So I think you're both kind of right.
In terms of a business, I mean, they're outpacing the 360. So I would see within Microsoft's doors, it's a success already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
they're just building up off of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like in Microsoft's like point, like that many sales, let's say it's like at 30 million, to them, like that might not be a success. I mean, look at Microsoft, look at what they do, look at what they sell and all that kind of stuff. To them, that's probably not a success. That's probably a failure right now. So for them to be in the lead ahead of Sony and all that kind of stuff, that to them is a win. Like when you're thinking like these guys,
not just that, guys, but they bought things like Havoc, they've bought Minecraft, and all these things are going on the Sony platform. That's like if Sony and Microsoft both, instead of making software, they both made hamburgers, and Microsoft bought all the buns. You know, the thing is that every time Sony puts a hamburger out, right? We're talking about it's $1 that's going towards Microsoft. So Microsoft's actually laughing on the inside because we're not going to sit here on these gaming. We're not going to sit here on these gaming podcasts and talk about trickle down economics. We're not going to sit here and do that, right? So at the same time, Microsoft is still kind of giggling inside, being like, these guys don't really understand. We're making $5 a game.
That's why you lead credence to what I'm saying at the end of the day. If Microsoft wanted to win or whatever the case may be, or just make money, Minecraft would be exclusive to the Xbox One, and they can sell more consoles. Am I right or am I wrong? So many things that Microsoft bought this generation. Yeah, so many things that Microsoft have bought this generation. They could have just left on their heart what they just want to sell hardware, and maybe to catch Sony in this quote unquote this imaginary console with this race. They could have done that. You know what I mean? But when they buy stuff, hey, everybody can use it. They downplay it. No, that's not a problem. We love doing it. It's about making money with Microsoft.
I'd really like to see Microsoft take Minecraft 2, put that exclusively on.
Wait.
But hold on. Only a year, and then you put it out because people be drooling for it on other platforms.
You know what? Just look at this. That's a great point, Mooch. Just look at this. Minecraft console was on 360 for a year, and that's the best-selling 360 game ever. It's like 25 million.
Microsoft sees these numbers, people. Don't think it's crazy to say that they won't put a 6-month or year exclusive out, so everybody has to get a taste. Everybody wants a taste.
But the thing was, when it came to Minecraft going on the 360,
oh man, I'm glad
when it goes to Minecraft going on the 360, it was only on the PC before that. So that was a brand new thing. Now Minecraft is everywhere. It's on cell phones, tablets, PC.
Hey, that Switch version, man, they got them 8-bit Mario stuff on that, man. That's hot.
Like, dude, if they were ever to say, well, screw that, like this iteration of Minecraft is going to be exclusive on Xbox, you know what kind of PR black eye they would get, and Microsoft can't afford that shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, we keep saying Microsoft. Microsoft has deep pockets, which they do. But it doesn't necessarily translate to the Xbox division.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Sony, PlayStation is the golden egg for Sony. That's where they get their money. When it comes to Microsoft, Xbox is not that golden egg.
Yep.
You know,
well, you know what's funny is people always look at GTA 5 as like this thing that's always in the top 5 and give that game props and credit, but Minecraft is always in there too. You know what I mean? And it's all Microsoft. Like they're the ones that have $4 billion+ franchises for first party games. You know, and even though that's a multi-plat due to deals being done well before Microsoft bought them out, and because they're not stupid, you know what I mean? So that's how they're making money, and that is obviously a good way that's probably kept them afloat early on with the Xbox One, right? Like they're making money off of Minecraft like crazy, and so that's really helping them out.
Yeah, I don't think like Xbox is like looked at as like, you know, like the bottom tier in Microsoft standpoint. I mean, if it was, then they wouldn't.
I didn't say bottom, man. I didn't say.
No,
bottom.
I'm just saying. I'm saying
like, it's not the top. The top is your.
Yeah, it's Microsoft Windows and all that kind of stuff. But they're adding all that like Xbox stuff to Windows and everything else. I mean, they're looking at it as a much broader scope than just Xbox these days and everything like that. So we really like, even with these generational like things with the iterations and all that kind of stuff, we can't really think like we used to with the consoles. Like we really have to like take a new look at what's going on and how they're doing things and how everybody's perceiving it. It's not, we can't like look at it like we used to anymore.
Exactly.
No, we
That's
can't.
why I
That's
said
facts.
within 2 years, like 2019, 2020, don't be surprised to see, first of all, another PlayStation, and then Microsoft, with the whole doing away with generations, can come across with another more powerful console.
Would you want to
And
be,
it would
as
be
a
no
console
problem.
gamer? Honestly, you just bought the Scorpio, and I'm gonna take a page from Crap Pierre's book here. Just bought the Scorpio 2 years ago, and this is 2017, and they come out with another Scorpio, whatever the hell, in 2 years. That'd be instead of the Xbox One. That's too much hardware.
But
I mean,
Z,
PlayStation
you don't
did it
have to
last
buy
year,
it,
Z.
though. Z,
Huh?
you don't have
PlayStation
to
did it
buy
last
it.
year.
I get that you don't have to buy it, but you have to also understand that this sets a bad precedent if they start doing that, because these aren't phones.
They're not cheap to make. They're very expensive.
Yeah, these aren't phones. But I will say this, right?
Yeah.
I just want to point
Go
out
ahead,
that to those that don't think people are going to mass exodus PS4 and jump on the Xbox Scorpio bandwagon, Microsoft has made this incredibly easy to do. You want to know how? They've done it because they've come out with Game Pass. So let's say you've been on the PS4 since the beginning of the generation. You're a pissed off 360 fan because DRM and because of Connect, and they were going to spy on you and your undies in your basement, right? So you're like, I'm going to get me a PS4 and for the players, and I believe all that nasty, stupid shit. And this is how you share your games. And I bought into greatness awaits, but you know, enough of that. I'm going to actually play some 4K with native 4K textures. And Microsoft won me back. They got an Elite controller. They've got the fastest and best online network. They've got a company that actually listens to you and interacts with you, and they do backwards compatibility, all the stuff that we want, right? And here I am selling Xbox Scorpio to you, and you're thinking, damn, Crap Gamer, he's a hell of a salesman. He must work for Microsoft. Well, I don't. But let me say this, right? The way they've set this up is, even if you've been on PS4 the entire generation, you can get an Xbox Scorpio, EA Access, and Xbox Game Pass, and you're going to play all of these games. Fucking amazing. How many games is that? Hundreds of games, and you don't even like, and it won't even really cost you much, because you can get Game Pass for $10 and you can get EA Access for $5. So for the cost of a Scorpio and $15, you're fucking down. You're good.
Your library is huge.
And you get Xbox Live as well. You get that shit. Are you kidding me?
And
You're kidding me, right?
If you decide if you want to buy a game, you still, Microsoft is doing the Steam thing and giving you refund. So I mean,
that is absolutely fucking amazing. Did you guys see that Stevie Richards thing? Right, he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Used to be a WWE wrestler, and he did a video on YouTube about why he left PlayStation and is back on the Xbox train, right? And his whole spiel was the reason, and he was a pretty popular wrestler back in the day. So and he did this video, and he's like, the reason why I left was because his PlayStation network kept getting compromised. He couldn't sign in. He couldn't game online. He's like, what's the point of this? He goes, I tweet out that I'm going back to Xbox, and Major Nelson tweets him back. And he's like, and EA Access? He's like, I didn't even know this existed. You can play all your sport, like the Madden, everything. He's like, yeah, I signed up. He's like, it's great. You know what I mean?
Well, that's he admitted on.
But okay,
He admitted on his show that video he put out. He admitted that he just basically plays Call of Duty and Madden. But I mean that's okay, because you have to understand, right? 90% of the market is that guy. It's that customer. And the thing is, the fact that he said he didn't know that EA Access and this and that and blah 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 existed, that means that Microsoft and EA need to do a better job advertising.
Good point.
Hey, we're over 500 watching. Hit that like button. Thank you guys very much.
Guys.
Very cool.
No, but I guess during E3 we get low say. But hit the like button. Thank you, man. Ooh. But
And don't forget,
What the hell was that?
and don't forget about the backwards capability that will
Backwards compatibility.
These
Yep.
old games will
I
look
just want
better
my
than
first
they've
home
ever
game.
looked in your. If you haven't played on the PC, and you're gonna be in for a treat to see these backwards capability games on the Scorpio, man. It's gonna be amazing. I'm like, they're gonna be like brand new games to you because they're gonna look so good.
Yo, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna say this one thing to Mooch. Again, I'm crushing on Mooch tonight. Hey, listen, listen. You know, like, this is the kind of radio that I'm not going to. Hey, Mooch. Listen, as I was. Oh shit! We'll start that shit. Listen, we'll start that shit. Not tonight, baby. We had no scandals in a long time. We'll start that shit. Listen.
You already know there's gonna be some individuals riding in the dark. They even promoting it now.
Hey, listen, hey, Mooch, it's something that I've been saying for a while. This us, just doing what we do for the last couple, together. And I'm saying that Microsoft, the things that we be excited about and that we talk about, and whatever the fuck, Microsoft don't really do a good job at really nailing that home. The fact again, EA Access,
Yeah.
it's huge. You know what I mean?
That
Which
is.
fun. And they don't really talk about it. They don't.
Hey, we're gonna be playing Battlefront 2 on our Scorpios in 4K with those textures and shit.
A week early.
A week early.
Yeah.
That's gonna flood YouTube with that graphical fidelity. People are gonna feel embarrassed to post their PS4 footage. I guarantee it. They're gonna be like, "How can I post my footage?" You know what I mean? When there's no Scorpio footage out there, and that's what's gonna happen. Like, I would be embarrassed. I'm not going to be posting any fucking multi-plat footage on PS4. Why would you?
Yeah.
It's completely outdated.
Yo, crap! You just reminded me. You just reminded me of something. I wanted to ask Mooch real quick when we were talking about VR before, because like I said, how Microsoft is working with other companies, 6 different VR headsets, and I know me and Mooch, we have talked about the PlayStation VR and stuff like that. Yo, Mooch, when it comes to VR, I know it's niche and all that good stuff,
Right.
but if Microsoft is offering a headset for $200 that has, check this out, one cable that goes to the system, right? $200 headset, one cable that goes to the system. Are you gonna try it, man?
Hell no.
I mean, to be honest with you, probably not. And here's the thing, Xbot. Let me tell you why. The games are not going to be there. And walking around in the world of Fallout, no offense to Todd Howard and his crew, I'm sure they're going to make something that's stellar. That's not really what I want. These are experiences with VR. I think I said it this morning on MNC Mornings. VR has already jumped the shark. You know what I mean? It's just already there's nothing coming out. I mean, what is it we're gonna play? Even if it's got one chord, what are we going to play?
I don't think the price was the issue. Was the course? Honestly, I mean, we made fun of it, of course, but it was the price. We talking about $500.
Yeah, that's
Well, you got 200 now.
You
man.
know, yes, I'm saying for $200, I try it. So I don't give. I'm playing Candy Crush. I'm gonna fucking.
I don't know, man. Even at like $200, like and not potentially not be supported by games and all that kind of stuff, man. I still think it's a waste at this point.
That's where Microsoft is both PC and Xbox. All right.
Yeah, but like, what VR games is like grabbing your attention right now? Like, what's grabbing your attention in VR?
I don't
You're
know.
like, I got a $200 headset or a $400 headset.
Well,
or $500
listen to this, JKB. Like, it's something I said again. I think the VR thing is gonna really find its place once the indie developers get their hands on it, you know. And at $200, that's something that the casuals can go in there and buy. It may be as simple as a Pornhub app. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? But at $200, the average Joe Smoke can go. I buy that for $1.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like VR, like I think it's just like a fad at this point. I think AR is where it's all gonna go and lead to.
AR, VR, PR, whatever. I'm just saying, $200 is cool. $500,
exactly.
That's something different.
Well, listen, I mean, you guys are talking about, I mean, but the thing is, though, now we're going to sound like all the other, you know, the Sony fans out there. Where's the games?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing for? But see, if I just said to you, hey, you know, give me $200, I'll have Xbot do a jig for you. Like, what are we going to do?
Hey, listen.
Xbot, my point is like, if you know what I mean? Like,
I told you, it may be as simple as porn. I don't know, but $200. Me, I'm listening. My eyes are open. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I tried, but I couldn't. Even myself, you know, I would say, you know, I get gadgets. I buy everything, but for $500 for something that I may play once or twice, that would make me nauseous, probably throw up on myself. I wasn't gonna do that. You know.
Well, but for $200, do you want to play? I mean, are you excited? You can't wait to play Minecraft?
Well, I don't know.
In VR? I mean,
it has my attention. You know what I mean? I might buy Just Dance.
I think we'd all get bored of it. Listen, if you don't believe me, listen, don't take my word for it. And you know the Sony. If you have more Sony fans in your chat than the next E3 conference with fucking Sean Layden. Listen, the problem is that I mean the thing about it is this: if you don't believe me, go check out the Sony PSVR. Like they did a whole thing on it on Kind of Funny with Greg Miller and when Colin was on the show. And after the week after they analyzed it, took it home and played it, they said, "I'm done with this thing." You know, like it's over. Yeah. And then there's Sony
games has come out and like they're talking about it. Nobody's like talking about it.
Well, they do have this though. To be fair, they do have their best-selling exclusive of all time. Gran Turismo was coming out this summer and it's VR, whatever the case.
Hold on, let me point this out real quick though. This like they were like, okay, we need a Gran Turismo game. It's embarrassing. We're 4 years in. Forza is completely kicking our ass.
No doubt.
What can we do? How can we speed things up? And they're like, well, if we throw out all the fucking cars and we only come out with 120 cars, let's make it online only. You know what I mean? like completely. Like seriously, this game.
If they make it online only, crap. It's an absolute fail.
Did you see the fucking screenshots? People are like I keep seeing these articles. It looks beautiful on PS4 Pro, and I'm looking at this, and then I'm looking at that fucking Scorpio Forza Motorsport foot, and then I'm looking at the Gran Turismo. I'm like, that fucking shit looks like Sega, like a Sega Genesis racing game compared to that, right?
One of my phrases. The PlayStation, the motherfucking Gran Turismo looks like piss water. It
looks horrible. That's
like,
when was the last time? When was the last time fucking the Gran Turismo was relevant? It was probably the PS2 era, right? Like it hasn't been relevant since then.
Hey, crap! Yeah. Perfect world. I'm with you, both of you guys, 150%. But the fact that it has that name and what you guys say, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, but it's not even that though. The fact that it's probably going to be online only, and it's like an e-racing, like it's not even a main installment is the thing.
This will probably do well. Maybe not here in the States, but in Spain and Portugal, they're gonna buy that shit up like preppers.
They might, but I mean, when you have Forza right around the corner, and then this game is all it's online only.
If they have a PS4, you know what I mean. I'm sorry. That's if they have an Xbox One. You know what I mean? Or
to Craft's point, like, where's all the outcry for it just being online only? Like, people don't have internet connections and all this other.
Yeah, what about the people in the submarines? Well, somebody think about the goddamn people.
You know what? Listen, that's crazy. I guess as gamers, we have to be ushered into this. You know what I mean? Not just all at one time. I never had a problem with always online. Who buys a console doesn't have online, so. It is what it is. But even like we've enjoyed several only online games this generation.
But see, this is the thing. When you're talking about one of the best-selling games of all time on that particular console, it's always had a single-player experience. You know what I'm saying? In a split-screen experience. Why would you change that game that drastically? Just to get it on esports, it sounds just like the old Street Fighter.
Like what Cap said, and that's the reason why they named it sport.
It sounds just like another Street Fighter 5 debacle, man.
It is so funny. Like this is the first time I've actually watched the BGST chat in a while, and it's so funny how diluted some of these people are. Like this dude NazK, whatever, he's like Forza's milked, and I'm like, isn't this the 7th Gran Turismo game? Isn't there 12 Ratchet and Clank games? Isn't this the second year in a row that they're supposedly coming out with another Uncharted game? I mean, they're saying it's a standalone game, so that would mean that Uncharted, which has been a franchise since 2007, and we're in 2017, right? And that means that how many games have come out in that 10 years? This will be the 5th on console, plus a remastered collection, plus a Vita game.
Yep.
Right? That is a lot of games in 10 years' time. That is milked. How is it that, you know what I'm saying? And this is what another God of War. There's God of War 1, 2, and 3. God of War Ascension. This is going to be God of War 4. Then there's 2 Vita ones. There's how many fucking collections? I don't even know. But how is that not milked? But Gears is milked. You guys see the fucking desperation from the ponies in the chat? They're like, this is milk. This is milk. This is milk. But it's only milked if it's on Xbox, right? That shows you how fucking stupid you are if you're sitting there saying that one thing's milked and the other thing's not. How the fuck can there be 12 Ratchet Clanks? 12!
If this is Crap or if this is Dealer. His sniper rifle right here tonight. Y'all can't fuck with Crap Gamer tonight.
12 Ratchet Clanks.
Crap Reviews is not taking no prisoners.
12 Ratchet Clanks. 12 Ratchet and Clanks. 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But yet, hey, Halo is milked, right? Halo is milk, but 12 Ratchet and Clanks. Get the fuck out of here.
Halo is milk, but how many years was it between Halo 3 to Halo 4 and everything like that?
Halo's good. Let them sorry dirty bastards not ever mention the mighty Halo. It belongs on the Rushmore of games. Don't ever talk about the mighty Chief and Locke ever again. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your damn mouths.
Well, no, it's just, it's just so funny because these people are talking exclusives, which again, I already proved that nobody's really buying exclusives the way they used to unless it's Halo, because not anywhere in the top 20 was there any for Xbox or PlayStation this year, and only last year was Halo in there. But aside from that, what you're seeing is people talking about these exclusives. If they really mattered that much, wouldn't the fucking Xbox One have outsold the PS4 at launch? The PS4 launched with fucking Knack and Killzone, people. Knack and Killzone.
They had Injustice.
Yeah, I mean, I had that on 360.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Their lineup was trash. I mean, it was they had Killzone, which looked really good. Then of course they had Knack. They had what else did they have? I know they had Injustice
and Resogun.
Resogun and pew pew, and you know what I'm saying. And you're trying to tell me that that's the best gaming lineup, man. Look, like I said, you put the Xbox lineup, exclusive lineup against PlayStation, and it's almost embarrassing. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, until this year, PlayStation has actually brought out some real good stellar games. And this is for our boy Showstopper, because he said this on the next podcast. He said, remember, all these great games, 2017, yes, but how many of these games are delayed? And this is a question I want to ask you guys on the panel. How many of those games that weren't delayed, or that are delayed, should be discounted? How many actual exclusives that the PlayStation has this year that wasn't delayed?
All the games that they came out with this year, which, by the way, I'm gonna laugh.
No, that's what I'm saying. How many games that's good? I mean, Spider-Man, I guess, because Spider-Man didn't get delayed. If that's coming out, Days Gone, it didn't get delayed.
Don't even know if that's coming out this year.
I'm just speculating. Yeah,
but that's the thing. We're speculating. All right. When it comes to E3 and all this good stuff, of course they're going to show all that, and people are going to wonder, well, is that game coming out this year? Is that game coming out? There's really no guarantee. I know we have multiple consoles in this house, but I see Sony's trends. All right, and I'm not going to believe that a game is coming out this year until it actually comes out. Because
they're not even putting dates or years next to their fucking
exactly.
they're not, and they even go, yeah, we're not gonna do that much. So yeah, they show shit off, and then you realize that, oh, they really did show shit 3-4 years. Like how many years ago did that motherfucker sit out there and go, well, everywhere I go, people ask me about Shenmue 3. And we didn't even see anything about that shit last year.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything from Shenmue 3 last year, right? What did they shove down our throats for years at the fucking Sony show? No Man's Sky, right? Like, they push this shit that ends up completely stinking up the joint, and then they want to act like they've got the best thing going. When
you're gonna find Shenmue 3 in your kid's Happy Meal as a fucking that shit's fucking nobody's gonna want to play that trash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on, it's not gonna fucking. They're not gonna fucking do any of that stuff, man.
Oh man, like it's that's the thing that. I mean, I understand that, you know, the PlayStation this year with the games lineup, it's amazing, right? There are really some good games. I mean, you got, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn is one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 4 next to
yo, Mega, don't say that, man. They're gonna start calling you Ponybot.
I ain't gonna call me a pony. They know that I bleed green. They know better than that. But I'm just a realist. I mean, the PlayStation has some good games this year, and they've had a couple of hit and misses. You know, this generation, but when it comes to what Xbox is presenting this generation, they're just better games. The content they give you, you know, people want to talk about, well, where's the games? People are still playing these old games because they still show love to the fan base by keep adding DLC and content. I mean, you can't say that for all those PlayStation games. You just can't.
Yeah,
so it's
the
crazy.
PlayStation exclusives don't even hold value. Like when we first picked up the PS4. I went to GameStop to pick up. I was going for the exclusives and everything like that, man. Like all the exclusives were like $18 and below.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
Games, there's no multiplayer aspect to it, most likely.
Right.
But hey, it didn't. Man, Crap even told me like I came in at the right time because their library was built up somewhat. I mean, because it took.
Yeah, like if you get a PlayStation 4 right now, right? Like there's going to be a good handful of games that are pretty decent you can play. Same thing with Xbox. Like even if you're a big Xbox hater, you can fucking pick. Did you guys see that new bundle? It's like get an Xbox One. It's like $300. It has Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 5, Gears Ultimate, and Gears 4. That's a fucking steal. Those are some of the best games you can get. If you pick up Forza Horizon 3 and Sunset Overdrive, you're fucking set.
Oh hell yeah!
Like, that's an amazing lineup right there. There's a ton of great games that people like have skipped out on or maybe have missed or whatever. And I think that's where like the Games Pass and all that stuff comes into into play here, because people are going to be able to get that backlog. Like Sunset Overdrive's in that. If you get EA Access, like I said earlier, you can get like stuff like Battlefield 4, which still is very active. You can get stuff like they've got a little bit of everything in there, which is really fun. You know, they got Battlefront 1 in there, They've got Titanfall, yes, like the best Titanfall. They've got all, you know,
Plants
they've
vs.
got
Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Yeah,
1 and 2, yep, and they've got Peggle 2, which is actually fun as hell. Really, really good game. I'm not ashamed of that. That is a great game.
Nice, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask you a question before we get the hell out of here, crap. Maybe we can close the show with this. I see what you put here in a list of comments, list of topics that we didn't go through. But anyway,
hey, that was just a list that we could potentially go through.
Okay, all right. Listen, it says here that Crytek Shanghai reportedly closes, so we can from non-payment rent, so we can say goodbye to Rise. You think?
That's a different part. That's a different Crytek. They have various Crytek ones.
Yeah, I know. Didn't Amazon or say goodbye one of them or something?
No, Amazon bought licensed
the
engine or something, the Cry engine. So yeah,
I thought Sega somebody bought somebody or from Crytek bought something.
No, they opened one of the Black Sea Crytek Black Sea that closed down or whatever, and then they reopened as something else. But yeah, it's like that. It's weird. That whole Crytek situation is kind of weird because they did get like a loan and they did license out CryEngine. But who knows what they're doing? Their last couple things they did was VR, and so not so successful. It would make sense that we would maybe see a Rise 2 along the way or something. Would be great in my opinion. It's been a long time. I could see that being something that happens. They are, even though people are like, well, they're not really cash struck. They are, obviously, if they can't pay their rent. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's pretty clear that they could definitely do.
I wonder what the hell happened with them in Microsoft. Like, that shit just went left.
You know what to keep in mind as well? You know, there was a developer, I think they're Deck 13. They're the ones that did Lords of the Fallen. They signed an exclusive deal with Microsoft. They're supposed to do 4 exclusive games. I think it's about time we probably seen one of those. Lords of the Fallen 2 could be exclusive.
Well, they're doing Surge that's coming out.
Yeah, the Surge, but that's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive now.
Yeah, but if you can look it up, Deck 13 signed.
Yeah, I know we talked about
contract.
Yeah, we talked about that. They haven't showed the game yet. We talked about that about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. So there could be. I mean, there's other stuff again, like the Fable thing. People are like, how can they make Fable? Look at what happened, right? They already had this engine built. There was a contingency plan in place for if Fable Legends failed, they could have just do a new Fable game. They have on payroll multiple Lionhead developers, including the writer for one of the Fable games. They, you know what I'm saying? They have this wide umbrella of Microsoft Game Studios. You know, they have assets in place. They were offered big money to sell the Fable franchise, the IP, and they refused to do that.
They would not.
Yeah, and they didn't do that. So I think that that and the fact that it's already been a year, it would be good to see a teaser. I'm not saying we're not getting a Fable game this year, but we could see a teaser, and I think that would be pretty phenomenal. Maybe
that would be huge.
I mean, if that comes out next year, think about this: we get Halo 6, a Fable reboot, another Forza Horizon.
Halo next year? You think Halo next year?
I think Halo next year.
Next year.
Think so?
Yeah. Halo. Yeah, that'd be 3 years, bro. They're on 3-year development cycle.
I think that's when the Scorpio is really going to shine is next year. I think, you know, where everybody talks about Xbox, where's the games? You know, I think for, you know, if PlayStation can have a sparse moment, then I think Xbox can have one as well, especially when we get in such great hardware.
But I don't think we're having, like, my whole thing is a lot of people are like, where's the game? I don't think we're having a quote unquote sparse moment.
Well, I'm saying for the, you know, because let's just say hypothetically that all the games that they're showing that we all know about, that's all they're going to bring. That's
what I think is going to happen, though. And I'm fine.
I think that there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 titles that will
Halo 3 anniversry.
No. I just think there might be 1 or 2 more titles that'll come out. But
he's giving up on that.
Yeah. He's going to let that keep rolling.
He's refusing.
But I think that really
Die Hard, man.
It's you know, I think for what Xbox is bringing with the hardware, and for the lineup of games that they have, I'm content with that, because when PlayStation had their sparse moment, they had indies and maybe 1 or 2 exclusives. So you know, we're still getting more bang for our buck, and you know, just some people just
the exclusives are the cherry for me as well. Like, look, the games that I'm most excited for, yeah, like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, no, great, Forza, awesome. But it's the stuff like this new Call of Duty, boots on the ground. It's the stuff like Battlefront 2. Wow, fucking campaign. You get to pick your classes again. Do Assassin's Creed in Egypt. Like, holy shit, a new Splinter Cell? Are you kidding me?
Oh my
like,
god!
this is the shit that I'm really excited about. Like, yeah, the exclusives are great, but the other stuff is the stuff that I'm probably most excited about, and then being able to have the best version.
Yeah,
From here on out, yeah, that is going to be the great thing. You know what I mean? Like that is going to be something that Xbox fans are gonna enjoy. And I enjoy the narrative change from the PlayStation fans that we're all resolution. 1080p makes you a better gamer, and now they're like, you can't even tell the difference if you stand 10 feet back with a patch on one eye and squint. You know what I mean? Like that's like it's hilarious, but I enjoy it because that's what they do. You know what I mean? It's like it's hilarious. And again, Microsoft has had the exclusives the entire generation, and they've had the better services, the better controllers. You know what I mean? And people are just a little bit more critical of Microsoft. Like Sony. When is the last fucking thing they've actually said anything? They've been more quiet than Microsoft.
Oh yeah,
but nobody says anything about it, right? Nobody says shit about it because it's Sony, right? But Sony's about to get that work put in, and it's going to be hilarious. You know what I mean? And guess what, man? I have a good time shoving it up people's ass. What can I say? It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
But with that being said, thank you guys for rocking out with BGST, man. It's been a great time. We had over 500 people here today. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. You know what I mean?
Hey, thanks Mooch and GKB for coming by.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Woo-hoo. If you guys want to see me stream with my shirt off, come follow me on there.
I'm not going anywhere near that.
We out of here, man. Bang.